I have my colleague. He's a retired police captain. He's now a state senator from Brooklyn, Eric Allen.
Thank you so much. Let me just squeeze over next year. What is so horrific about this is that this program started when crime was through the roof in public housing. And we ask officers to move into public housing because we understand that they can become the bedrock of the community and send the right message. After doing so, you saw a decrease in crime in public housing throughout the entire city. And now you want to turn your back on those who contribute to that. When it was not an enjoyable place to be. Public housing is coming back, and part of that contribution to revitalizing public housing is because of the sergeant and his contribution and countless others. You don't stop becoming a law enforcement person simply because you retire. You're still committed to public service. You're still committed to the safety aspect. You don't stop with wanting to see the community become a productive community simply because you retire. To have the marshal sit outside the door of a retired law enforcement officer is despicable. It's a slap in the face to an officer who committed his life while being a police officer and will continue to commit his life while being a citizen. And I think that the police department and the city needs to re-examine this policy, change the policy, and the mayor can do it instantly, to sit down with the Commissioner of Housing and say this is going too far, and to send a letter out to all the officers who are living in public housing. We want you there. We need you there. They are the best neighbors you can have to ensure that public housing is a safe place to live. I'm sure when you ask the tenants, they are happy to know they have an officer on their floor in apartment 4D, 4C, or 5E. The mere fact that you have an officer there is an indicator that you have a good neighbor. This is in the mayor's control. The mayor can do something immediately by this. As a retired member of the police department and well aware of the program, and several officers I know who took the mayor and the city up on this offer of coming in and giving part of their lives to making sure that public housing is safe, I'm calling on the mayor to do the right thing and make sure that we can have a long-standing resident of public housing remain there.
We also would like to hear from Mr. Claxton from the 100 black men in law enforcement.
Well, first and foremost, I have to shake the hand of retired Sergeant Gregory and thank you on behalf of the citizens of this city for committing yourself at a time when other people wouldn't commit themselves. And I think that can't be overlooked. So rather than dealing with the issue of eviction, which is absolutely absurd, and I'm sure that situation will be or has been rectified, I think it's important for us to applaud the service of individuals who have selflessly committed themselves to their community. And to echo on what Assemblyman Diaz said, at this time when we're dealing with residency requirements and debating that subject, it's important to know that long before that debate occurred, there were individuals such as Sergeant Gregory who were committed to improving the conditions of communities throughout this city. That's to be commended. So aside from dealing with this one particular issue, there really needs to be a call for the expansion of a program that allows law enforcement officers additional accommodations and housing and in other forms and other ways. It's important for us, not only as a support mechanism for those who have bravely served their communities, have bravely served the citizens of this city, but because it's an incentive, it's an additional bonus for the other citizens in the community as well. It's important for us to recognize the efforts and energy of fine, brave, honorable law enforcement professionals such as Sergeant Gregory, especially in light of so many of the other times when we have to come and condemn criminal or corrupt behavior. This isn't the case with Sergeant Gregory, and it's important for us not to treat a brave and honorable public servant as a criminal. It is an offense that must be rectified. So 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement is additionally calling for an expansion of this very program. There needs to be more Sergeant Gregory's in housing developments and communities throughout this city. So we echo the sentiments of Senator Adams. We agree and concur with all the statements that have been made both by Senator Diaz and Assemblyman Diaz. And we're calling for an expansion of this program because this is the way in which we bring our communities back. And Sergeant Gregory was on the front line of that effort. So we commend him for that. Thank you.